So, in the group, we've been having a discussion about the choice of memorial songs outside of the Celine Dion song that they also played. Uh, we're talking here about Coolio's "Gangster's Paradise," which is a song that they played at the boys' memorial, along with tarot cards, which they say are tarot cards, but Cyrilda cleared that up for us and let us know that those were playing cards because Darren used to do magic tricks for the kids, so he gave him a box of playing cards. I'm not gonna allow any misinterpretation where I do stuff. But Coolio's song was played, and people at the funeral were kind of like, "What?" They played it, and we've been talking about it and the meaning of it. So let's first hear the song. I want to reiterate that this was the number one song in September of 1995. So that year of them being, they did play it over and over and over again.
New York Boys Choir in the house. LB in the house. Check it out. As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left. Cause I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks that my mind is gone. But I ain't never crossed a man that didn't deserve it. Me be treated like a punk, you know that's unheard of. You better watch how you're talking and where you're walking, or you and your homies might be lying to chalk. I really hate the trip, but I gotta low. As they croak, I see myself in the pistol smoke. Fool, I'm the kind of G the little homies wanna be like on my knees in the night, saying prayers in the street live. Been spending most of lives living in the gangster's paradise. Been spending most of lives living in the gangster's paradise. We keep spending most of lives living in the gangster's paradise. We keep spending most of lives living in the gangster's paradise. Look at the situation they got me facing. I can't live a normal life. I was raised by the state, so I gotta be down with the hood team. Too much television watching got me chasing dreams. I'm an educated fool with money on my mind. Mac 10 in my hand and a gleam in my eye. I'm a loped out gangster, set tripping banger, and my homies is down, so don't arouse my anger. Fool, death ain't nothing but a heartbeat away. I'm living life, do or die. What can I say? I'm 23 now, but will I live to see 24? The way things is going, I don't know. Tell me why are we so blind to see that the ones we hurt are you and me? Been spending most of lives living in the gangster's paradise. Been spending most of lives living in the gangster's paradise. That's right. We keep spending most of lives living in the gangster's paradise. We keep spending most of lives living in the gangster's paradise. Power and the money, money and the power. Minute after minute, hour after hour. Everybody's running, but half of them ain't looking what's going on in the kitchen. But I don't know what's cooking. They say I got to learn, but nobody's here to teach me. If they can't understand it, how can they reach me? I guess they can't, I guess they won't, I guess they front. That's why I got my hand on the pump, fool. Been spending most of lives living in the gangster's paradise. Been spending most of lives living in the gangster's paradise. Keep spending most of lives living in the gangster's paradise. Keep spending most of lives living in the gangster's paradise. Living in paradise.
So the song is about a criminal thug person and how they have to live a certain way by the streets. But there are so many references to youth and death in this song. There's a thing called the lesser evil. The lesser evil is kind of how they explain, like on the show The Simpsons, how so many different predictions have come out through that show, 9/11, all kinds of stuff. They were kind of showing us what was going to happen before it happened. I think this song is like a lesser evil from Darren and Darlie, like a big fuck you to all of us. And I broke it down a little bit. Let me see if I can find it. So I broke it down lyrically. I've done this before many years ago. It starts off right off the rip with death and the ending of life. As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left. There's a casket with two boys that have been brutally murdered that's in the same room while they're playing these lyrics for them. Because I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks my mind is gone. Mentions mama. Mentions mama. If you break this down, it's kind of eerie. But I ain't never crossed a man that didn't deserve it. Me be treated like a punk, you know that's unheard of. So you better watch how you talking and where you walking, or you and your homies might be lying in chalk. Another death reference. I really hate to trip, but I gotta loke. As they croak, I see myself in the pistol smoke. More death. Fool, I'm the kind of G that the little homies want to be like. On my knees in the night saying prayers in the street light. And then it goes, a gangster's paradise. I can't live a normal life. So I got to be down with the hood team. Too much television watching got me chasing dreams. I'm an educated fool with money on my mind. Got a 10 in my hand and a gleam in my eye. I'm a loked out gangster set tripping banger. Death ain't nothing but a heartbeat away. And this would be what the supporters, they sing the chorus to this song. Tell me, why are we so blind to see? The ones that we hurt are you and me. Power and the money, money and the power, minute by minute, hour after hour. This would go in, this is what it was all about for Darren and Darlie. Power and money, money and power, money, 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 money. Everybody's running, but half of them ain't looking at what's going on in the kitchen. Well, the intruder ran through the kitchen. Nobody took a look at what was going on in the kitchen, because that serrated knife, that fiber that was in that kitchen. Let's not look at that. Let's not look at the sink. Let's not look at the footprints in blood leading away from the sink. Let's not look at the glass that didn't get stepped on. Let's not look at any of that. Let's not look at what happened in the kitchen. I guess they won't reach me. I guess they front. That's why I know my life is out of luck. They front. It's all about appearances. They front. $6,000 fountain, $9,000 steam room, beautiful house, beautiful clothes. Front. Jaguar, $12,000 drapes. They're fronting because they didn't have the money for any of that. That's what fronting is. That's why I know my life is out of luck. Mom and dad are all about that money. Book deals, deals with Paramount before the boys are even cold. That was brought up in court. Why are we so blind to see? The ones we heard are you and me. Devin and Damon are the you and me. They're talking to us. Tell me why are we so blind to see supporter mentality? Now let's see if I can find.
I mean, you know, because like I said, I wrote it like I knew it. Weird. It was kind of weird writing, but.
I have to ask, it's one of the catchiest songs ever. When it comes on the radio in your car, do you turn it up or do you turn it off?
Depends.
We turn it up.
Most of the time I turn it up. I feel like I've written at least 20 songs better than Gates of Paradise.
Here in Australia, because it was #1 for 13 weeks in 1995.
Somebody finally broke my record.
Yeah, but it took 22 years. Do you know who broke it?
Who?
Ed Sheeran's Shape of You.
I was just hoping you would then say Drake.
I tell you what.
Or listen to clips that they haven't seen before.
Oh, yeah.
Just take a look at these guys.
But I ain't never crossed a man that didn't deserve it. He been treated like a punk, you know that's unheard of.
Damn, that boy speaking deep. For real. That's straight facts. For real, that's crazy, Coolio.
Now we have to get a reaction of them watching this interview.